Where were you raised, and tell me about that?
I was born and raised in Hillsboro, and I lived in Shram City as a little girl, and most of my family did. And we went to the church there in Shram City at the Pentecost church. Most all my family were Pentecost. And my grandmother always made sure that we went to church, and it wasn't just on Sunday, it was 3 days a week, which I really liked because when I grew up, we didn't have telephones and televisions to play with. We had to go outside and kick the can and play hopscotch or whatever. And so when she wanted us to go to church, I was kind of happy because that was something that we got to do. I was 12 years old, and it's when I would go down during the summer and stay with my aunt all summer. And the same thing, we went to church all the time. On Sundays, we think that if we're here 5 or 10 minutes over an hour, that I went from 1 o'clock to 4, listening to the preacher. So, and he always stepped on your toe too. He didn't mince meat. And so, anyways, I had a chance to go to Kentucky with them on this convention, and it was 1,000 people or better there, and they had altar call, and I went down, and I was saved. And then when I come back to Wood River, the pastor there, he baptized me. I was baptized in a horse trough. As I grew older, well, I started thinking about boys, of course, and then I met Wayne, and more or less I was backsliding because I didn't go to church. But after my children started coming, well, when they got old enough, I tried to get them into Sunday school so they could learn. I didn't go with them, which I'm very sorry I didn't. And maybe things would have been different. But Wayne didn't believe in God. And so I kept trying to get him to come with me at different times. He'd say no, so I didn't go either. And then one day when they was building this church, well, I started coming by, and when I seen them tearing this things down, or something just kept pulling me in. And I knew what it was because I had not really ever lost the thought of the Lord. When you're a Christian, it's just hard to not let that come back in your mind. And so I kept going, and the closer they got to finishing, well, when they were Noni Hard, that used to be a good member here, she asked me when I was going to come to church, and I told her, I said, well, when you get that church finished, I'll come. So after the church was built, it had been built a couple weeks, well, I seen her again, and seen Noni again, and she said, I thought you was coming to church. That's just how she talked. And I said, Noni, I'll be there next Sunday. So I went. Then it was about 3 weeks. I think it was around 3 weeks that I started feeling. And when Jerry Seaball gave the invitation, I went forward to rededicate my life. And oh my, did I rededicate it, because I was on air. I just couldn't feel like, I didn't even feel like my feet there was anything underneath them. One time I had 12 jobs in this church. And I tried to do everything, and I just thought that this church could not run without me. And every time the door was open, I was here. And then one day I just felt like I'm overloaded. And I told Jerry Seaball, I said, Jerry, I'm going to come to church no more. I said, I'm just getting bogged down. I just don't feel like him. And he said, no, you're not going to quit coming. He said, you get rid of some of them jobs. Well, I got rid of all of them except hospitality committee chairman. And I ran that up until Wayne had his stroke, and then I had to give everything up, which I do not regret 1 minute. But before Wayne had his stroke, in November of 2003, Wayne gave his life to the Lord. And I know that he knew that Wayne was going to have his stroke that following March. And that's why he got him there. And that's pretty much the way it is. And if I can do anything to help anybody now, I'll be happy to do it. I might have to cripple along a little, but I'll be glad to help them.